So in this edit, I'm going to show you how I created this kind of horror scene, which was using a combination of the apps on iPhone, Snapseed to turn day into night, SuperimposeX to cut out the window and the building, and Werble for the animation. So let's start by opening up the picture here. The first step is to convert day into night. And to do that, I'm going to open up the app Snapseed and open from Device, Camera Roll, and find the photo. Once we have that, we go to Tools and White Balance, and the temperature on the top shows 0. Slide it all the way to the left to minus 100, and that gives a blue kind of tinge to the photo. Check Apply at the bottom. Go to Tools, Tune Image, Brightness, again reduce it maximum to minus 100, and now you have an effect that looks like this building is in nighttime. And really this is all you need at this point. So check Apply, Export, Save a copy. So we saved that image. Next thing I'm going to do is open up the app SuperimposeX and open up the image. I'm going to choose the image, and what I want to do is to mask out the sky. So I'm going to mask tool, and I'm going to pick on this thing that looks like a sun or whatever and start to slide my finger, and as I slide my finger I'm selecting more and more of the blue area, and you can see here that I have masked out the sky. But what happened here was I also masked out some of the ground accidentally. So I click on the pen tool, and instead of erase in the bottom I click on restore, and then I just swipe with my finger and add it back to the building in areas where I did not want the ground to be erased. So once I've got that, I have the building and some of the trees kind of masked out. I'm going to go to the top left, save current layer image as a PNG file, and I saved that. So now we'll exit this app. Let me stop some of the other extra apps that I have, and now we'll go to the app Werble. So I'm opening Werble, and from here I'm going to click on the W. It found the latest scene that I had created. I'm going to click on these 4 directional arrows so that it shrinks and fits the screen. I'm also going to click on the next button so that the canvas size is adjusted accordingly. So I have that scene. I'm going to click on the double squares in the bottom right and choose another layer, which is the night scene itself, and I've got that also. Now in the top right I click on the arrow, and I'm ready to create a Werble, and the Werble image will have, as you can excuse me, see, 2 layers. I'm going to move the night scene to the left so that it's behind, and then I have the building silhouette in the front. Now what I'm going to do is start applying some effects to this. So let's look at one of the first thing I'd like to do is add some stars in the sky. So click on sky and click on a night scene, maybe this one. And as you can see here, I have some stars. I'm pinching and enlarging them with both fingers. And now I'm sliding it to the left so that it can even be behind the building. So I've gotten some stars there. What I'm also going to do is add another layer, and I'm going to click on this second stars. Okay, maybe not that one. Let me try this. So what I like about this particular version of the stars is that it glows on and off. So I like this, but I'm going to slide this and maybe flip it around, keep it here because I want to have the effect of glowing lights or fireflies or something in the scene. So I keep it like that. And of course it's too opaque, so I'm going to slide the top and go into blending. And blending style, let me experiment. So if I click on this combination, you can see that the dark sky disappeared, but the lights are still flickering. So that's nice. I'll add one more layer now, and I'm going to, let's see what effect. I'll go to, I think, glows. So I'm trying to find that effects pack that I have called glows. Oh, here it is. And I'll try some effect from here. Let me try this one. How does this look? So if I slide it at an angle so that the blue matches the roof, it's got a kind of glowing light and some rays of light coming out from there. Or maybe if I try it like, how does that look? So I'm going to slide this layer behind the building, so you can see that it's in the background. And I've got a glow going on behind the building, which I like. I actually want to make it appear like the window has some magical lights going on. So I'll click on plus and go to a new layer, and I'm going to choose another one of the glows. This time I'll choose these rays of light, and I'll make it look like it's coming out of the window and illuminating the garden. So that looks nice. The only thing is the color doesn't match the purple of the scene. So I click on the lights layer is selected. So I'll click here and I go to color, and I'll just slide the color around till I like the shade that I'm looking for that matches the rest of the scene. Maybe a slight purple kind of, a blue, somewhere between blue and purple. I like that, but I think the lighting is too strong. So I'll go to blending, and blending amount, I'll reduce that. So I've gotten that. Maybe it's still too strong, so I can be a little bit more subtle. So that's fine. Click on plus. Now to add the butterflies. So click on So what I actually decided to use in my edit were these butterflies, and I placed one something like that so that it was coming out of, except what I had done was I'm going to slide the tool on top. I went to lighting, and brightness I reduced it to almost gamma, moved it higher, contrast, exposure, just slightened it so I got it like a dark kind of bats or something. In this case, they look like they're coming out of the light. What I decided to do was I went to motion, I think time, and I slid from the positive, I went backwards. So now what happens is they are flying in the reverse direction. So it looks like they are flying from here into the window. So that's nice. So now I click on the plus, I select that layer and duplicate selected layer. So now I have another layer with exactly the same effect, but I'm going to transform and flip. So what's going on? So I think it is flipping and it's going in the other direction. So what I have now is also some coming from this direction. So it looks like from everywhere you have these dark moths or bats or whatever flying into the window with the magical light. So that looks nice. Now I'm going to add some Halloween effects for the spookiness. So I click on new layer and I click on the packs and go to my Halloween pack. So I'll choose this hand clawing, and I'm going to slide it down so that the size is small and keep it somewhere here. So I think I had a hand somewhere like that. And what I did was I slide. I think I'm going to change the color of this to suit the scene a little better. Maybe the blue will match the night scene. So the hand is there. Then I'll go back to my Halloween pack and I'll see what other effects I can add. Maybe this skull looks interesting. So choose the skull. Put it in this way so that the light somehow matches the lighting of the scene. And I'm going to adjust the color of the skull again. So click on color and give it a bluish scene to get match with the ambience of the night scene. So what I thought was, just for the heck of it, and there's no real rhyme or reason here, I decided to add some bunch of bubbles coming out of the skull like that. So it's going towards the window. If the same trick can be applied to reverse the bubbles, if that is more interesting. Now, to give it some foreground elements, I decided to go back to the Halloween pack. So, where's Halloween? Here we go. And this moon looked nice. So I click on the moon. The only thing is the tree is blocking it, so I wanted it to overlap with the existing tree. So I slide it on the top. The layer button is not cooperating with me. I go to transform and flip it around the y-axis. So now I have a moon with the branches actually moving, which look nice, but the clouds are too dark. So I'm going to blending and reduce the blending, and let's see how that looks. It's still too dark. Okay, that looks nice. There's a little bit of blending, but you see the moon and the thing. Now we go back to the Halloween pack, see what else we can add. So how about a spider and a web? So this is the spider I'd like to add. And next layer I want to choose is, I went to the web. And maybe put it somewhere here in the corner. The only thing, of course, is being a night scene, the web should be dark. So slide this, go to lighting, reduce the lighting, go to gamma, increase it, contrast, increase it, or decrease it actually in this case, and exposure. So we've got a spider web and a creepy spider. But I also decided to add some plants in the front. So click on plus, go from the Halloween and go to hot tropics. I think I chose maybe this leaf here to give it something in the foreground to add interest. So that looks nice, except it's too bright. So once again, adjust the lighting, reduce the lighting, maybe gamma, increase it so that it becomes darker and almost like a night silhouette. So we have some movement there. And I think somehow I erase the bubbles coming out of the skeleton's mouth, but it doesn't really matter. You get the idea. So this is how I created that haunted Halloween scene coming out of. I've also been erasing other, instead of selecting new layers, I have accidentally been overwriting layers. So I had to click on plus, go back to the Halloween scene, and I think the Halloween night, I kind of lost that. So again, quickly go back to transform, mirror it, and click on transform, blending, reduce it, because I'm losing the elements that I had added earlier by not clicking on new layer when I add new items. So basically this was how I created that scene. When you're ready and happy with what you've done, click on the top right, the square that's going to create the verbal animation. I usually save to photos, save video, 20 seconds, and that's it. All done.